Welcome everyone to the gRaceland Shootout Series. Patrick Morrison here with SimTrax Broadcasting, and we've reached race 10 out of this season, which only means 5 left to go. The importance of this race couldn't be any higher for some of these drivers, and may require lady luck on their side. Last week we were at Rockingham, tough track that requires a lot of timing and finesse to navigate through all the rough track surface. But I keep saying this over and over again, and the relevance is there. If you're a racer, having a new VR headset will change the way you drive completely in the sim rig. The number 8 of Billy Stanley has done just that. For the past few weeks I've been here, and he's really been on the back foot, has not been placing very well in the field and finishing toward the back half. But last week, the entire race at Rockingham, Billy Stanley led over half the race. And I'm not talking a little bit, I'm talking halfway. At the halfway point, he led the entire field by a full second. So there are times, out there that racers need just that one little piece, that slight tire adjustment, another turn on the track bar, a different pair of race shoes, or even another 5% of tape to the front grille to completely turn their season around. Billy has found just that with the VR headset and is hoping to nail another podium finish here tonight. But the tunnel to success isn't on the straight and narrow, as a few drivers will lie in front. Last week it was the 81 of Randy Bledsoe and Phillip Temples, who just reached an unreal win streak of 3 in a row. That means he hasn't lost a race since Milwaukee. Tonight we land in Tennessee at Nashville, and no, not the fairgrounds, but the Super Speedway. 1.3 miles of concrete, multiple lanes of racing, and plenty for the drivers to contend with. Also, guys, keep in mind, look out for your favorite driver, as some of them tonight will be running a Halloween scheme. Such as Billy Stanley, Adam Robertson, and Robert Lynch. We're going to go ahead and take a little look here. I think these guys are getting ready to qualify here in just a little bit. But first, let's see how our race conditions are looking for tonight. Let's get them up right there. Nashville Super Speedway. Track temperature of 71 degrees. Going to be a little cold for these guys out there. Especially getting those tires to tack up early. These guys are going to get somewhere around that range of about 175 miles an hour. So they've got to be careful for at least the first couple of laps. If we know anything about Phillip Temples there, he doesn't really wait. He just kind of hammers down. But at this point, from what I'm seeing, Mr. Temples is not here. So his win streak may come to an end. And I believe will end at 3. So Nashville Super Speedway may be, fortunately up to another driver to win here. But unfortunately for him, will end his streak. 25 laps, no tire limit, and we will have at least one faster pair, which is really great in case one of these drivers kind of gets in a little bit of a mix-up here. And you can't complain about 68-degree air temperature, really being able to have good cold air for this engine to be at its peak performance. Ladies and gentlemen, then we are here at the gRaceland Shootout Series. Interested to see who else we have out here on the track who's deciding to give it a little bit of a spin. I see Robert Lynch is kind of pulling his way back out of pit. But he's got to watch out here. I think he's only got about a few seconds left here of practice before we get into the qualifying. Do want to make sure we mention a race sponsor for the series of Performance Distributors. Guys, you don't know about them, they got everything there. Distributors, wires, the whole ignition system. That is something to look at. And I believe they also sell Dynabat, which is also actually a much smaller battery that powers a lot more of your car out there. You do have, it says it's about 30-pound weight shavings, and when you start considering the amount of weight goes into a car, 30 pounds can pick you up another tenth or so on the timing, or help change the way you get the weight distribution in the car. Guys out there on Facebook, I see you out there. It looks like Heather Jewett's out there, Sheila's out there. A lot of people out there in the chat. Appreciate you guys showing up here tonight. Hopefully we'll see this get one going. Looks like we are lining up for qualifying here. As we'll get this one underway, I'm excited to see how many drivers will get going here, and really if Billy Stanley can keep his streak going here of the amount of speed he is able to put down. I believe Rob Yost is coming on out of the pits here so far in the 83 machine. Oh, maybe. Might have had a little problem there. Something might have handled up. All right, let's see if we can find Randy Bledsoe out there in the 81 machine. A little different from the white and blue we're normally used to seeing him in here. As he gets going around the track, we'll go ahead and get a little tower up here and kind of see what our best times are here so far. What these guys start laying down, I mean, right off the bat, you'd want to be super careful here, really getting that first lap in. You got to, like I was saying, you got to wait for these tires to tack up. I believe they keep their same qualifying tires on when they get into the race. So there will be a little heat buildup in those tires, but it shouldn't be too much. But right now, they really got to start laying down a fast lap here. Randy Bledsoe is the first one out so far and the furthest in the track. So we'll see what he lands for a time here. All right, 30.63. We'll see if anybody else can top that. So far, so good. A little deep into the turn here. Interesting to see. I'm wondering if any of these other drivers will kind of follow suit, kind of on that same line. Dropping low like he is. Little shout out, I believe Brian Neff has returned. I haven't seen him, I think, since I believe his win at the fairgrounds here in Nashville. Don't take my word on it. I think that's right. We're seeing, looks like Robertson went ahead and nailed a little bit faster time, but from what it's saying here, Robertson actually has almost identical times here of a 30.55. Both the Bledsoes 1 and 3 at this point, so up fast and up front. Randy and Anthony at this point. Robertson trying to see if he can get any more speed out there. But I think that may do it for him. I believe Daniel Holloway has nailed himself a first place finish on the pole, so that'll go ahead and secure him a few more points. Got a few more drivers to kind of see if we can squeak out here. Not seeing Billy Stanley out there onto the track just yet. He may be trying to kind of get everything situated. Make sure that sweet new VR is going to work its magic here tonight. Or definitely try to make sure you get a little more time and kind of wait for the track to see if it'll heat up just a little bit more before you get your way on out there. So far, non-qualifiers, Billy Stanley, Douglas Johnson, and David Cox. These guys have yet to qualify here yet so far. I think you'll see a lot of that. The number 60 car, you see him kind of dropping off the racing surface there, and I think that may do it for him here. Rich Blake. Wow, Rich Blake with a super fast time of a 30.42. Good turn there by him. Getting that one... kind of getting that one done, man. I tried to have a little chat with him last week, and you got to admit, he was pretty upset out there, kind of with what happened, I guess, with a wreck that happened early in the race. Later in the race that kind of took him out. Looks like we got Billy Stanley in the black and I believe that's black and white from here. I hate to say, black and white or it's black and silver, but looking pretty good. Kind of a scary theme he's got there. Let me see if I can get the drone out there a little closer to his car. And see if we can kind of see what he's got going on here. Get a little closer. There we go. Got a ghost onto the hood, so the spooky theme he's running here tonight at Nashville. We'll see what he's got for us here so far. And like I've been saying, with Billy having this new VR here, and I know a bunch of these other guys are now considering it, is just the angle. You'll be able to turn your head inside of the car, and that's really unusual than a static monitor that these guys can go. But out there in the chat, Nick, I see you out there, bud. We'll hopefully be able to see what's going on so far. Billy's still putting a solid time down here. Should be wrapping up lap 1. See where he goes. Come on. Oh, I didn't register a lap. Wow, that was kind of a bummer on that one. I don't think he was able to squeeze a lap in. That was kind of on the back burner on that one. Now I hate to see that happen. But we'll actually get to a couple of our drivers here. Randy Bledsoe, I know he's been doing a fantastic job out there on the track so far. Kind of staying alive. Up on the top of the charts. We'll see if we can talk to Randy Bledsoe here in the 81 machine. See if we can get a hold of Randy Bledsoe. Randy Bledsoe in the 81, you got a copy? All right, here, buddy. Appreciate you coming in here and joining us here for the GRaceland Shootout Series. How's the track feeling out there for you so far?
That feels great. It's a little bit tight, but it comes into me. If we can stay off the cautions tonight, I think I've got a good shot.
Oh, definitely for sure. I definitely believe that. The grip on this concrete is really amazing. You finding multiple lines that you can run out there?
For my car personally, it's on that yellow line. I can't do the top. The higher I go, the tighter I get.
Yeah, definitely. And you almost have to wait for the tires to melt down, to get this thing to loosen up. But with these super late models, it definitely tries to yank the back end around.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of guys up there that's liking that top. Maybe if they get it rubbered in, it'll come in.
Yeah,
I'll try it out.
Definitely for sure. But we'll keep an eye on you. Have not gotten an updated thing of the points. I'm assuming you're still in the lead with the top 3 finish you had last week. What's the mindset going into tonight?
Win. I'm gonna win tonight. Try my best to win tonight. I got the 12-point lead, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you'll be able to kind of squeak it out here. I think you'll get a little bit of a break. I don't see Mr. Temples out here tonight, so you might, this is your time to really kind of yank away from him.
Yeah, it's sort of a home track to me, one of my 3 home tracks, so I'm gonna try to pull it out of the hat.
All right, bud. Randy Bledsoe. Okay, good job tonight, bud, and keep charging the head.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, and there is Randy Bledsoe. We'll see what he can get done here so far. Let's see if I can talk to actually. There he is, Rich Blake. Let me see if I can talk to him. All right.
Super late All-American 400.
You got a copy on me, bud?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, bud. How's it going this week?
Oh, it's a lot better. I feel pretty good. Had a good race at another place last night until the end of it, so we'll see how this one shakes out.
All right, man. Well, I think I tried to talk to you last week. I think a little bit of a late kind of wreck there kind of got you a little bent out of shape. I'm making sure we're feeling a little bit better here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into Nashville, bud.
I apologize to you for that, too. I should have talked to you. I shouldn't be that way.
Oh, no problem, man. Look, it was so late in the race, and I was going to say, kind of when people start wrecking out in those last 5, it makes you question the entire 20 or 100 or 200 that you ran before.
Yeah, it does.
So, all right, man. Well, how's Nashville feeling for you here so far?
This track's, it's a challenge to me, but it feels pretty good. With this car and track setup, it feels pretty good.
All right. You got any drafting buddies you're going to be kind of looking to follow?
I've got a couple. Number 60 and number 20.
All right. Well, it looks like, I was going to say Brian Neff is out here, and Austin Evans. He was on a tear last week, so that was pretty wild to him last week. But Rich Blake, 66 Machine, appreciate you coming out, bud. Hopefully we'll get you in a podium finish tonight.
We're going to try.
All right. There is Rich Blake. Got it done. And like you say, he wasn't feeling too happy last week. Hopefully he'll be able to kind of turn that around this time. But I want to talk to, actually, let's see how we do with Brian Neff here. Brian Neff, do you have a copy? Brian Neff.
Sure do.
There he is. Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing right, man. Hey, you've been kind of on a hiatus here a little bit, man. Where you been?
Oh, Hawaii's a long way away.
Oh, man. You couldn't pack up the rig, huh?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury of those guys in that NASCAR where they haul all their stuff to the race,
Oh, yeah. Well, man, definitely. Phillip Temples has been kind of capitalizing with you not here. You looking to turn that around tonight, seeing that he's not?
We'll see. I got here late. The only lap I have is in qualifying, and I'm going to have to pay attention for a few laps before I make any moves.
All right. Well, Brian Neff, man, I hope the best for you, and you are kind of able to slide your way up toward the front. It's going to be definitely a pile-up for with a lot of cars here in front of you. I know a lot of guys are kind of turning their season around here, but hopefully you'll be able to charge your way back toward the front.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of guys that got VR now. I'm hoping that they run into each other.
Oh, actually, I can't say that, Brian. Right now, everybody's doing a fantastic job out there on the track, and it's actually improving like over tenfold.
Right.
All right, Brian Neff. Dude, you got to get gridded up. I got to get you ready.
All right, man. Peace.
Take it easy. All right, there's Brian Neff. Yeah, good to see him back. So let's go ahead and get us through our starting order here tonight. I know we were talking about Rich Blake there, and Rich Blake, he seems to be right up here into the front row. Having no problem so far. Rich Blake going to start us off. Daniel Holloway into the second position. Anthony Bledsoe with Adam Robertson, 3 and 4. Starting row 3 will be Randy Bledsoe and Robert Lynch into 6th. Austin Evans starting 7th. Rob Yost into 8th. Brian Neff ended up into the 9th position. Dean Viney starting in 10th. Billy Stanley starting all the way on the back, unfortunately. Like I said, he was not able to kind of squeak out a bit of a qualifier here, so now he'll be a little farther toward the back. Douglas Johnson into the 12th position, and I believe that'll bring us to David Cox in the 119 starting into 13th position. Don't ever count out David Cox, though. I know he doesn't like to qualify a whole lot, and he kind of hangs his way toward the back, but I think he's kind of one of those, he kind of kind of takes it real easy, hangs in the back, and then kind of waits for everybody to kind of total each other out and work his way onto the up to the front of the track. I don't think he's done less than a 10th position finish this so far since I have been here. But out there in the chat, Phillip Temples, Neff is so slow. Well, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Brian Neff starting back here right now in the 9th position, so we'll see how he can get his way up front. Eyeballs for, actually, here for Robert Lynch. We'll see how he does his way toward the front. Like I said, guys, out there in the chat and all the viewers watching here so far, that keep in mind, these guys are got a little bit different paint schemes here so far, so everything's going to look a little bit different. Car and drivers are still the same. We'll see if Billy's got anything for us here at the Nashville Super Speedway. No issue on tires. Like I said, a lot of these guys kind of taking a peek into that VR. I know 100% that Billy Stanley has one, so I expect to see him weaving through the rest of this field here. Ooh, boys, we already got a slip up there from Rich Blake. We'll have to keep in mind and to see if Daniel Holloway is going to end up in a little bit of trouble there for shooting past the line first. Diving already into turn 1. You see these guys, I mean, staying solid. Single file all the way on the inside row. No issues there so far, but Daniel Holloway staying firm on the outside. Seeing if he can roll around there with the 54 machine of Anthony Bledsoe. Two Bledsoes battling next to each other, but one of them's got to capitalize here. And it looks like Randy's going to separate in the 81 machine, allowing Rich Blake to get away. Daniel Holloway in tow of Rich Blake as Blake is getting pulled away. So hopefully his woes of last week will end up as a success here tonight. Still got good battle. Like I said, 13 drivers out here on the track. Not too shabby for some of these other drivers, you know, being able to get out here. Glad to see you guys. I'd like to see about another 5 to 10 more of you guys out here on the track. If you're inquiring how to get here, go ahead to the GRaceLand Shootout Series on Facebook. You can get a hold of any of the admins there, and they'll see if they can go ahead and get you locked up and in for the racing here. Great jobs here so far. Daniel Holloway looks like he's getting ready to make a battle for the lead here, taking a peek toward the inside. He had a slightly faster lap than Rich Blake here. He's got that inside line. But Rich Blake's going to hold it toward the outside and probably dial in right behind him here. And see if he can keep caught up. But he's going to, actually he's using the outside line to see if he can maintain some of that speed, keep the fresh air, and see if he can push around him. But he's got to watch out because the draft of the 81 keeping close ties on him so far. Into second place, points leader Randy Bledsoe into third position right there in the 81. So you see these guys a little bit darker schemes and just getting backed up here. Robertson gets into the back of Randy Bledsoe, and it looks like Robertson has now smoked himself out. And around these guys go. Look out! Cautions do not count here, as these guys are going to have to, unfortunately, re-rack them. These guys were sliding off. It doesn't show that anyone really got wrecked here. But definitely ended up spinning around. Now, one of the Facebook users out there, maybe no cautions. Unfortunately, there's one there for you right now. We are under caution. We did have a little bit of a pile up there. No issues from some of the drivers. It was just it was a stack up. You know, I think something happened to Rich Blake that ended up slowing his car down. And once it slowed his car down, it really started the accordion effect here. Looks like a little shot there from the back. Looks like the number 20 car. of Austin Evans here, and let's kind of see what happens. Yeah, you kind of see the bump here. Yeah, I think Rich Blake kind of dropped it off the apron, let off the gas to keep from sliding. And Robertson got into the back of the 81. Nice little Simtrax plug right there on his deck lid. 28 machine getting spun around. Here's Robert Lynch trying to slide his way toward the inside. He sneaks out. Oh, and Robertson sends it back up the track. Come on, Billy. Does Billy survive? Oh, he gets a little bit of a shot there from the 71 of Dean Viney. Doesn't look like damage too bad, but it looks like the 28, the 20, and the 83 got most of it. So Rob Yost really got hammered there on that one. Still tough job by a lot of that, and we'll see if any of these guys can get back out there and survive for another round. Yeah, and I can't say, it wasn't anything. It's not Rich Blake's fault. It's not the 81 of Randy Bledsoe. I think it was just a checkup and everybody being so close, especially with the shovel nose on these cars. It just wedges underneath the rear bumper of these cars and just starts picking them up, and around they go. And I can't blame Robertson for that one. I'm just hope he is able to kind of get that thing squared away here. They do have a fast repair, so if he ended up getting banged up too bad, I hope he's able to kind of turn it around here. He does have to hurry up, though. Make sure we take a little peek at car position here, and I think this is going to put Adam Robertson a lap down. Yeah, I believe this may put him a lap down here, unfortunately, in the 28 machine. I may be wrong. I see the 28 kind of entering here onto the backstretch. So he may have been able to separate and squeak by. Hopefully he was able to kind of get through and survive and keep his way toward the front. Showing Evans and Robertson here in the lead, but not quite, not yet, not so far. These guys will kind of get each other around here, but that is going to go ahead, and Rich Blake still up here in the front pack. In the lead with Randy Bledsoe behind him here. See if I can have a little chat actually with one of those drivers. I want to talk to the one that kind of got messed up pretty bad here, and we've been talking about him here, and hopefully he's not too bent out of shape. Adam Robertson, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I know I always get nervous talking to you guys here in the booth after a caution, man. I'm assuming you had to take fast repair on that one, or did you just try to kind of repair it? I see your pit stop time.
Try to repair it because as close as we are, I think there's going to be some more, and I don't want to be stuck without one with 4 laps in or so.
Yeah, definitely. And it was kind of an accordion effect. It kind of looked like Rich Blake got off the edge of the racing surface. Checked up a little bit. I think Randy Bledsoe may have hit the brakes a little harder than you expected. And then I think it was just kind of, it kind of ended up undoing after that. Austin Evans got in the back of you, and both of you ended up spinning out there.
I think Austin hit me about the same time, so he had been bumping me the corner or two before, too, so we were all pretty close. So I'm going to chalk it up to a racing deal now, so maybe later in the race, not so much. For right now, it's a racing deal.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you'll be able to charge your way back to the front there, Robertson.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. All right. Adam Robertson into the 28. Well, the 20 getting into the 28 there unfortunately got that caution kind of mixed up there. Fortunately, all these drivers were able to get back out onto the track. I think David Cox in the 119. Not sure if something is going on with him. May have a mechanical issue or something going on. But hopefully he's able to get that 119 back out there, especially with that SRT Hellcat logo on there. I like it. Looks good in the 119, but that is going to start Rich Blake and Randy Bledsoe. Bledsoe moving up 3 positions so far here in the race. As we can see, the Ford Mustang pace car is off the track. Away we go here. Let's see if the Hound Dog racing car can fight his way forward. He has broken into the top 5 here as Rich Blake takes off. Billy Stanley up 6 positions so far into the 5th position. And away they go. Rich Blake with another great start here. Seems these restarts are working out fantastic for him. Brian Neff says he only turned a couple laps there in qualifying. Here he is, 2nd place. Battling up here with the 81 of Randy Bledsoe, but it looks like those two connected. Here we go. Randy Bledsoe able to keep it. Excellent job by the rest of these racers. Excellent job. Excellent job. That was beautiful. 81 of Randy Bledsoe, really showcasing his driving skill right there, being able to kind of keep it out of the rest of the field and everybody else behind him not stacking up so hard and crushing him to pieces. But what this does do is this allows Rich, Blake, and Neff to almost get a 2-second lead on the rest of the field from that separation. As long as everyone can stay clean, Rich Blake may be able to hopefully squeeze away with this, with Neff only about a second behind him at this point. Billy Stanley still in that podium position up toward the front here in the third, so he's slid up even farther, 8th position so far. But Daniel Holloway's going to give him a little bump. There we go. Daniel Holloway gets the short end of the stick on that one, but we'll keep an eye here on Daniel Holloway, actually, as it looks like the pileup has begun. Yeah, it's just something with that accordion effect. These guys are now kind of seeing it happen long term at this speed. I gotta remember, this is not short track. Short track here is a lot more chance and time to kind of negotiate another way out, but not in this case. Not in this case, not at all. Kind of see if we can give it another look here. Let me see, ladies and gentlemen, if I can find a better angle of what we're looking at here. I believe the 71 car is kind of where we're looking. 26, Robertson gets out of the way. Here's Austin Evans, and 71 connects with Austin Evans here in the 20 machine. 70 goes down. Looks like collects the 54 of Anthony Bledsoe. Oof. And the other Bledsoe gets him, the 71. Everybody getting a solid piece of the 71. Can't blame the 3. Douglas Johnson, I mean, he already slid in the infield trying to get away from the whole thing, and he just kind of came down and met him. I'll kind of take a ride along here with the number 3 car. Let's kind of see what he sees from his angle here as it unfolds in front of him here. Oh, man. Just so close. You think, all right, I'm clear, I'm clear. Nope. No can do. And that is going to unfortunately get him caught up in this one. But hopefully a quick little repair down into pit road, and these guys will be able to get their way back out there. Okie dokie. We are going to try to see if we can find let me see. I talked to him last week. Let's see if we can talk to him now. Austin Evans, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I talked to you last week in the same situation. Kind of the same mindset?
No, I don't know what that was. My spotter said clear in the game, and I went up high, and I turned out I wasn't clear. So I don't know what that was, but that was definitely strange for me.
Yeah, definitely. Especially that clip there from the 71. It kind of, unfortunately, kind of undid it here. You know, what was going on. I'm going to actually show the viewers here at this point. Shows you kind of rotating up the track. And, yeah, you were about, your rear bumper was about his left front tire. So that definitely spun it around here, man. But you got to get lined up. We're in 10th position now. What's kind of, you know, do we keep charging forward, or you got a buddy out there you can trust at this point?
I don't think so. I think it's just surviving at this point.
All right, man. Well, 19 to go on this lap by, man. Try to keep your head down and see if you can get up toward the front, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, everybody. There's Austin Evans. Yeah, you kind of hate that, you know, when you get in a race and it's about survival. That's not what you like. I'm hoping maybe this is a couple quick cautions up here in the front and get this through. But we'll see what the rest of these guys have for us out here onto the track. Now, Rich Blake is going to get another great restart here toward the front, but we're going to actually stick here with Billy Stanley here on the outside of Daniel Holloway here. These two have connected already once before. The 26 ended up dialing back and causing a bit of a pile up there when the accordion effect began. But yeah, look at look at Billy Stanley getting around the track so solid. I mean, not afraid of the wall anymore. You see some of these guys that kind of get about that car to half a car length off the wall. He is snugging right up against it. Definitely knows where the inside and outside of his car is. So definitely, like I said, guys, if you guys are looking for a VR, apparently it seems to work. We are seeing a good shove in here right now by Brian Neff. Brian Neff giving Robertson a whole heap to think about in the 28 machine. Wants to get around. Neff is super fast right now, but man, where in the world is he looking to go? He is trying to squeak by, and he's going to nudge that 28 if he doesn't get out of his way. Right now, they're trying to negotiate around Robert Lynch here in the 21 machine. Ooh, little bump there. And that'll be a little bit there on the front stretch as they get filed around back as we go. 16 to go left in this one. These guys are really putting on a great show here so far. And now we're starting to get some green flag laps down. These guys are starting to calm down. They're kind of rotating their way up toward the front. Robertson, he ended up in a few spin outs here so far, is now looking, getting real close there too. Robert Lynch. Lynch staying strong on the outside. Neff is seeing if he can follow him around. Looks like Neff has, Brian Neff in the 60. He's kind of given up there on Robertson on the inside edge. So we'll see if that outside can tack up and get around. We talked to the 81 of Randy Bledsoe so far, and he said if it rubbers up, he may consider it as well. As we are at a 3-wide condition, Austin Evans, we just talked to him, and he's firing his way down toward the bottom. Robertson gets a little bit of the 20 machine. These two have connected more than once here at this track, and now it looks like Robertson has fallen back to the 10th position. And it just continues. It looks like, I believe we've got a car around of Rob Yost. That is going to bring out our third caution here tonight. Boy, I'm starting to get kind of excited there. We really started getting some green flag laps under our belt. A couple of these drivers kind of getting a good shot toward the front. But I think actually Rob Yost and Billy Stanley may have been tangled up in this one. As I'm going to cut away to our yellow flag event. And let's see if we can take a peek at what happened here. See if these two kind of connected. It looks like Billy may have been trying to make a move here, and I don't know if the 83 saw him, but you and I are going to see it firsthand for the first time here and see what's going on. Oh, a little too close. A little too close there, Billy. It looks like the 83 is around. Uh-oh. Yeah, not sure if something happened there. Yeah, so actually the pain continued. I wasn't sure if it was just the 8 or the 83 here. Take another look at it. Let me see if I can find this a little bit different angle here. We'll keep our eyes on the 83. 83 takes a hard shot into that wall. And it looks like everybody kind of sees him up toward the top, kind of spinning around like a top. And then kind of left him alone. Way toward the front, looks like Billy Stanley. We actually got a few drivers actually coming down pit at this point. Looks like Robertson's coming down pit. Viney, Yost, and Stanley. These guys are all coming down pit at this point. Definitely hard charging here. I want to make sure. Let's try to have a little chat here with. Yeah, let's talk to Billy. Let's talk to Billy. Billy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, oh man, oh man. I was going to say, that VR is really kicking butt this week, but a little too close there on the nose of that car.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I got wrecked under a caution. Everybody's supposed to back off, but I got spun.
Yeah, definitely kind of a drift up. I think Brian Neff was there in the 60. I'm not quite sure. The two of you guys kind of connected there right there toward the end. I'm not sure what happened, but man, how's Nashville holding out there for you so far?
We're doing good. You know, this car takes about 2 or 3 laps for it to come in, and then you'll start seeing me pass everybody. So
yeah.
I mean, it looks like that's what I have to do back here, and, I can do it.
Yeah, definitely some green flag laps. And we did see you kind of start from the back, weren't able to really squeeze in a solid qualifying time. And, you're battling up there in the top 3. And, it's just once you guys can get under solid green flag, it seems these cars are opening up, and you guys got plenty of room to move.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it takes a few laps for my car to come into me, but once it does, then, I'll move back up to the front. And, I really don't like this track at all, but it is fun to drive.
All right, Billy, you got a bunch of people out there
That
rooting
makes
for you,
sense.
bud.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody I said hello and thanks to Performance Distributors for sponsoring us. We'll try to get up there front for them.
All right, good job, Billy.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody, there's Billy getting it done. We talked to Neff before, but I think Neff kind of saw that one coming. I wasn't sure what happened with that squish point here. And he brings up a genius idea, especially given that shout out there for Performance Distributors, the sole sponsor of this racing series here. This is going to be awesome out there. Phillip Temples in the chat. Come on, Rich, you can do it. So far, he has kind of been, he has been contested. I will say that. He has been contested. But he is surviving. He's staying out front. And hopefully Rich Blake is able to come home with a win here at Nashville. Let's see what he's got for us on another green flag restart. Away he goes. Rich Blake, Daniel Holloway, and Brian Neff. So now Brian Neff is going to battle out here with Robert Lynch. Robert Lynch only up 2 positions from where he started this race here so far. And interesting to see. If we could get this thing solid green to the end, I think we'll have these guys really open up and be able to put on a hell of a show here toward the end. But it looks like Neff actually kind of squeaking there on the outside, making sure these guys can't really get any wiggle room. Robert Lynch thinks the otherwise, kind of pushes him up the track there a little bit, but Neff gives him the room. As these guys are battling right now for that 3rd position. Oh, little door contact right there with Robert Lynch and Brian Neff. Lynch has been kind of on a little bit of a drought here, getting up into the top 5 or a podium position here so far. So right now, this is looking really, really good for Robert Lynch here in the 21 machine. Hopefully he is able to continue sticking it out. I know Billy Stanley, like he said, he was kind of hoping to turn in. We saw it was kind of a little bit of a sloppy restart there from the back 3. The back clutch of 3 back here, but it looks like he is starting to kind of turn it on again. Catching up to the 54 of Anthony Bledsoe. But we're taking an eye on Austin Evans here in the number 20. 20 about to go about a 3-wide condition. 20, he's got to watch out because Randy Bledsoe's really trying to floss the thread the needle that isn't there. But they seem to make it happen. Good communication between the 81 and the 20. These guys are really nudging each other to get there. And once again from the ashes, Adam Robertson is still fighting here. Just outside the top 5. 81 would be in his way of that. And I believe these guys are 1 and 2 in the points. So right now, Robertson has got to see the 81 kind of get totaled out and the 28 win a race at this point to kind of almost flip the script. But with good qualifying times, that may or may not change at this point so far. But we're sticking here with Robertson. Robertson, if he doesn't figure out how to get around the 81, he may be contending here with Billy Stanley, who is now starting to really turn on the heat, getting up to that 7th position. And he may be able to secure a top 5 here, but not quite yet. Rich Blake still having a fantastic run here so far as away he goes. Rich Blake still leading to just, I think he's led every lap this race here so far. Out here on the track, still laying down some solid times. There's only one driver, actually a couple drivers a little bit faster. Randy Bledsoe was a little bit faster. Austin Evans with a 30.52 has been pretty fast. So, but they are only beating him by about 20 thousandths of a second. Not too much, but it's still comparable. As right now, Rich Blake is still leading the race here so far by only about a quarter of a second off the front nose of Daniel Holloway in the 26 car. But the 26 car is starting to, you see him taking a peek there toward the outside here of the 26, that is. With him looking out, trying to see if he can get a little bit of that fresh air. Robert Lynch knows exactly what he's doing, and we're going to see if these two decide to link up. Will 2nd and 3rd start putting the pressure here on Rich Blake, but right now Rich Blake has got the line. They don't want to let him get away. And a feasible option for these guys might be, Robertson, easy as he grows up into the 81 there, which is exactly what Billy Stanley wants to see. These guys are battling side to side. That leaves him an opening to actually kind of reel them in, and he does. Firing toward the inside line there, the number 8 car of Billy Stanley, so hopefully he's able to kind of get around there so far. Brian Neff just outside of a podium position for 4th, and Robert Lynch still 3rd. So we're seeing if Daniel Holloway and Robert Lynch have got anything for him. believe Dean Viney in the 71. Doritos kind of falling back there just a little bit. I think some of that body damage is starting to play up on him just a little bit, but hopefully he is able to fire his way around along, as well as Douglas Johnson. Like I said, that was kind of a crummy restart that we saw these guys trying to get going before, but it's definitely kind of starting to take its toll up here in the, toward the back, as we're coming up with only about 5 laps left to go in this thing. And Rich Blake is now under fire by Daniel Holloway in the 26. So he gets an inside line, and Rich Blake cuts him off. Robert Lynch turns him around, and here we go. Daniel Holloway into the back of the field now, and really he's not going to... I think he may have been a little upset with that, with what says on the back. Robert Lynch says, okay, no problem, I will kiss that. And around the 26 of Daniel Holloway goes, so he is now sent to the back. I don't know if I'm going to talk to the 26 on this one. He's going to be pretty hot, especially after that turnaround. I know these guys are very, very competitive here, but that was pretty close. It looked like, Rich, but he had an edge on Rich Blake. We're going to take a look here from the top. Rich Blake in the 26, kind of cutting the door on the 26, and it looks like Robert Lynch just can't do. Yeah, saw the checkup from the 26, and I'll probably give it to Lynch here. If I were driving, I would have assumed that 26 would have kept fading up the track, but the 26 was actually able to hold that drift there a little bit, and he got caught right in the middle of it. So heavy damage to the number 26 car. We're going to take a look here from Robert Lynch's cockpit view here. I want to take a peek at what's going on. Let's see how it looked through his eyes. Oop. Man. That is definitely not what he needed at this point. Yeah, Robert Lynch really on a tear, getting his way toward the front, and now it's going to kind of undo it here. That'll bring out our 4th caution here for tonight. Daniel Holloway right now sitting in 8th, but he is down pit. A lot of other guys are looking to pit at this point. Right now, Holloway, Anthony, both the Bledsoes, Anthony and Randy are down pit. Austin Evans and Rob Yost are down pit at this point, with only 5 left to go. Some of these guys may be thinking tires. I think Daniel Holloway may be thinking fast repair and get back out on the track for track position. But a lot of these guys are kind of trying to switch back and forth really what to do on that one. Phillip Temples out there in the chat. I see you, bud. And it looks like it's a difficult one on that one, and it's hard to say. I don't know about that one either. I thought 26, I thought maybe he may have folded up and out of the way. But definitely when that 26, when he came sliding, his car almost stalled mid-track. And then, yeah, just the amount of speed that these guys are carrying, it was just kind of ended up on that one. Stella looked like an involuntary EOL. I guess so. I know I've seen some leagues, they kind of they enforce an EOL if an accident is caused, so these guys will be able to give it a shot. If you think about it, I think actually in their rule book they do allow some bumping from behind. But for some of these drivers, if you think about it, I mean, it's nothing against the number 71, but Dean Viney, this is actually a great opportunity for him, as we saw him there toward the back in the 12th position, faded off. He's now up here in the 7th position. Now, you know what I mean? Right behind Billy Stanley, who's now broken back into the top 5. This is going to be the last 5 shootout here. And this is really where these guys... Whoa! Looked like a little bit of a checkup there that the 71 didn't expect. That was scary. I think he's a little cagey after a couple of these spinouts he's been in. But hopefully he's able to kind of... get this one hammered down. These last 5 laps should be really good at this point. I am a little concerned with Robert Lynch and that front end damage at this point. Let me see if I can get the drone out there. So this is what you're seeing here coming to the restart. As we're going to get away, Rich Blake is going to take us back to another restart. Wait for that Geico restart zone. Away he goes, puts it down. And you're seeing a lot of these guys, it's just that torque steer, being able to squat it down and get it going. And away they go. Oh, Phillip Temples in the chat. Yes, there is. You just ain't read it there, bud. All right, and away they go. Rich Blake, Robert Lynch, and Brian Neff. I think this may be really bad here for Robert Lynch with the amount of damage here, but it looks like we've got somebody around, and I think one of the Bledsoes may have gotten it on this one, and I think the 71 got caught up, which is going to bring out, unfortunately, our 5th caution here so far. All right, Phillip Temples, when I find it, bud, when I find it, I'm going to send it right to you. I'm going to send it to you every day. I seens it, man. All right, let's take a look here at Anthony Bledsoe, kind of see what happens here. Oh, what in the world? I'm not 100% sure why it did that. Austin Evans trying to snake out of one more here, sliding toward the inside. Not quite sure why did it do that. It didn't look like the 71, the 3 don't connect, but it says they do. That's what started turning the 71 there, and the 71 is around. So he's definitely on the before they kind of get this one done, let's go ahead and follow it through. 54 machine gets a lot of damage. Anthony Bledsoe's can't be happy about that. Got a lot of damage on that one. Hopefully he is able to go ahead and kind of keep that one in one piece, unfortunately. Well, the pace car lights are off. Because we're going to try one more time here. Hopefully one more time. We're going to send this to the end. Definitely Robert Lynch there from the front out there in the chat, looking like Stella is saying Lynch's car looks like a horror story. Definitely for sure. He is, fortunately, our faster pairs. I'm glad, you know, some of these guys aren't having to roll around with the damage that they have collected here tonight. I think there are probably only about 4 or 5 cars that do not have any damage. I would assume Rich Blake with no issues there. And I think just about everybody else has been kind of caught up in a spin in some way, shape, or form. But they are able to go ahead and get this one away again. Rich Blake still seems to be solid on his restarts there. He may want to try to change it up there just a little bit for Lynch, and he does. Robert Lynch gets a huge tire spin trying to take off the line, which allows Brian Neff and now Robertson to fire around him. And now away they go. Lynch is automatically dialed all the way back to the 4th position, right in front of Billy Stanley. So Brian Neff in the 2nd. Rich Blake still in the lead, and Robertson, after so much issues this whole race, has now got him a solid top 3. But we've got connection there with Billy Stanley, and it looks like Randy Bledsoe in the 81. As we end up with 2 to go at the line, Brian Neff takes a huge lick right out of the wall and has slung him into the infield here. We'll see if iRacing throws a caution. And it does not look like it will, so that'll leave Rich Blake here in front, which is now opening up some of the door for a lot of these drivers. Billy Stanley, I think, has gotten a lot of damage here, and something's up with the left front of his car. Because he is down to the 10th position after that last tangle up here, which leaves Robertson in 2nd, and Randy Bledsoe in 3rd, which is not what Robertson wanted to see. He was kind of hoping the 81 would dial it back there, and unfortunately be able to gain a huge points lead off this run. But Rich Blake here, right now, is sitting with the white flag, in the flag stand with Barney. Barney's going ahead, swapping it out for a checkered flag here as Rich Blake is running away with this one. He's almost got just over a quarter of a second off of the front nose of Adam Robertson. Robertson doing everything he can, but I think he's just going to have to kind of really hold his head up high with a 2nd place finish, because Rich Blake is coming home with the the Nashville Super Speedway Series trophy right here tonight as the 66 gets pulled away and wins it here tonight. Robertson into 2nd, Randy Bledsoe 3rd, and Daniel Holloway in 4th. Do want to take a quick little look back actually at some of the issues here so far, kind of what happened to Brian Neff. I want to take a look at it real quick here and see what happens here with the 60 machine. Catches Robert Lynch, and around they go. Definitely trouble for some of these drivers out there. That was not good. Yeah, it looked like Billy Stanley had a little bit of room there. Nashville being kind of a new track here to iRacing, and that's kind of what you're going to see is the spotters are a little chunky out there on the track for some of these drivers, not really having the opportunity to kind of tell them where they are. But let's go ahead and take a look here at our top 3 finishers: Rich Blake, Adam Robertson, and Randy Bledsoe. These guys have gone ahead and done a fantastic job tonight, rounding out our series for tonight. That'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and pull up our race results here so far. Let you guys take a quick little peek at that. As well, I try to go ahead and see if I can round up all of our drivers. Our drivers seem to be kind of a little cagey. They like hanging out and having conversations about, man, now that race go, man, that kind of went sideways and things like that. But, man, that definitely was a decent shootout there toward the end. I was afraid we may end up with another caution, but they were able to go ahead and kind of keep it all linked in together. Go ahead and get right to it. Man, oh man, oh man. We get right to it. Randy Bledsoe, 3rd place finisher here tonight, man. Really, kind of a lot of tangle up here toward the end of the race. How'd you keep calm?
It was a dog fight. I don't know. It's just fought and clawed. Not much give and take out there.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely not. I couldn't agree with you more. Just from up here in the spotter tower, kind of what you guys are doing is, just kind of bumping and banging your way toward the front. I know you ended up in a 3-wide position a couple of times, taking a kind of a gutsy move down there toward the bottom. I think Lynch, Neff was trying to work, I think, with you or Robertson, but it kind of ended up in a little bit of a tangle up there as well. And I think Billy Stanley almost came down into the nose of the 81 there, right there at the end.
That was tough. I just went back and looked. That was my fault. I drove right into his door.
Oh, really? Okay. I was going to say,
I apologize to Billy for that.
Yeah, I didn't have quite the angle. I've only got that Michelin chopper view from up top here, kind of being able to take a peek at it. And I wasn't sure just you guys unfortunately connected there, man. But really, your race comes to an end here for a 3rd place position. You got to be feeling good about that, seeing that you are in the points lead. Phillip Temples, his race wins kind of comes to an end here. And this helps you stretch out the lead just a little bit, but Robertson's still chasing you down here.
Yeah, considering where I was 4 laps ago on the very back, I really thought I had a good chance. Too many cautions came out. I just really could not make up no position. The more laps I got on my tires, the better I was. If I hadn't got spun that first time, I think I would have had a little bit of something. Stretch up.
Yeah, it was definitely tough there, man. But, dude, we are looking at North Wilkesboro next week. If I remember, that's a pretty flat track. How you feeling about that?
That's where I got my very first ever super late model win. And keep my fingers crossed.
All right, man. We'll have our eyeballs out for the 81 to see you go ahead and put it in victory lane there. I'm gonna count that as your call out, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and give me your shout outs and I'll let you rest up and then get ready for North Wilkesboro.
Shout outs to performance distributors. Thank you for everything you do for the league. All you fans, all the great fans that watches, all the fans and friends and family. I'll get them all out in a minute. Billy, I give a shout out to him for letting me bring him in here and let me race for him. Sorry I got into his door there. Kind of met in the middle, but just it was a handful tonight.
All right, man. Well, Randy, great job tonight, bud, and hopefully we'll see what you can do next week.
All right, thanks, bud. See you.
All right, everybody. There's Randy Bledsoe in the 81. Seemed to be okay. Everything seemed fine, like he was saying, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody kind of gets their shot here at the end, but really whether or not they can survive the entire length of the race is another. And Adam Robertson in the 28, he survived. He got his way. Front, back. Man, how many times are you planning on doing it here tonight?
Planned on 0, but that last time I come down pit road, I was sitting there thinking that 2 tires wasn't going to work. The repair I let it do on its own wasn't going to work. I was time to take my chances on using the fast repair and just hoping I could stay clean.
All right, man. Well, dude, it was something here, and we're taking a little look. Neff on the inside. Robert Lynch kind of had a crummy restart there, and you were able to fire around the outside. Kind of gutsy move. What'd you think, kind of diving in turn one there in a 3-wide condition right after that last restart?
It was either wreck him in front of the field or jump to the outside and take my chances, and I just got lucky that I made it work because I had a lot newer tires than they did, and mine didn't spin like theirs did, so it worked out. Neff kind of run up himself into the wall a little bit, which, I mean, I've done that 10 times in practice, so it's easy to do. So, I mean, it worked out. I needed about 5 more laps, but I'll take a second after, getting spun through the infield grass on the 3rd lap and getting caught up in a couple other little deals.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely we did see you caught up in a couple of them. I wasn't going to talk to you just yet because I've seen you kind of capitalize on some of that. You do end up in a spin out, and you are able to survive, and I end up talking you up here, man, and you do not disappoint. With a 2nd place finish, this may help you reel in Randy Bledsoe in a little bit. As soon as you guys get the points update, I'll let our viewers know next week how everybody is sitting all nice and happy. You were getting much, much closer to the front, kind of points race-wise. How you feeling with it? And we're going to North Wilkesboro. Is that really a place to continue collecting more points?
Well, had I not messed up at the fairgrounds, I probably would have the points lead still. So, I mean, it depends on the week. It depends on how everything goes. I mean, there's some things tonight I seen that I wasn't too pleased with, but I mean, it all worked out for me in the end. But we really going to have to clean it up a little bit because there's a little too much on certain things I've seen. But I don't think a lot of it intentional. I think a lot of it's just situational to here because I know last season we run here, we had a few little deals like that about the same way.
Yeah, it seems you guys are able to kind of, it's kind of that soft spot. I think, I heard you guys went to Bristol and not a single caution, but when you start getting these super speedways, you guys are kind of mashing each other to pieces. But I think when I first met you guys at Charlotte, you guys were mashing each other to pieces there too. So it's kind of that sweet spot. You guys is a certain point where you guys, there's no cautions. And you guys are racing clean. You guys are bumping doors. There's slight nudging here and there. And you're able to just kind of fight your way around and kind of survive at that point. But here you are with a 2nd place finish. North Wilkesboro's next, bud. So I'm going to let you kind of get cooled down for that one. I know that, to me, that's a tough track, especially in these super late models. I'm sure you guys who spend a lot more time in them, it's not that hard. But Robertson, go ahead and give me your shout-outs here, bud.
Thank Performance Distributors for sponsoring us. Thank Billy for having the league. Thank the fans who sit out here and watch us every week. Sometimes we get a better race than others, and hopefully next week we can put on a even better race.
All right, Adam in the number 28. Great job tonight, bud. I really appreciate your paint job too. I'm loving it, man.
This is the last week of it. It's about time. I'm gonna have to go start finding a TV to watch that because they're gonna have to beat Kentucky tonight.
Oh boy. All right, man. Well, they're doing pretty well. So, all right. Enjoy the rest of your night, man, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Adam Robertson getting it done in the 28. But that, of course, brings us to Rich Blake, who really kind of was, just able to capitalize on this race here and pull away. I don't know. The way I look at it, he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. And he survived this race in the number 66, Rich Blake. You had fans out there, including Phillip Temples, rooting you on there, Rich. You pulled away the win. I talked to you at the warm-up, and here you are in winner's lane. How's it feel?
Man, it was almost like it was too easy tonight for some reason. Sometimes I struggle a heck of a lot harder than that and don't run as good. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Well, like I said, with a dismal finish last week and then now coming away in winner's circle here tonight, that's got to be between night and day, man. Really,
it's rejuvenated.
You capitalized on tonight with those restarts.
Yeah, I was dead on my restarts tonight. That's the thing that helped me out a bunch, man. I tell you, right there at the end, it's kind of sketchy because we had to have so many of them. We were having a lot of cautions, it seemed like, and it's like, man, we got to concentrate every restart. Every restart got to concentrate. So it worked out.
Yeah, especially no wheel spin. Unfortunately, Lynch ended up with some wheel spin on the final restart, which really helped you break away. Was there anybody else that you were racing in front of or beside that made you nervous that this you weren't coming home with the win here tonight?
Nervous? Nah, not really. I mean, I trust every one of these guys out here running, and we all run close, and we do get at each other at times and stuff, and that's just racing, and it gets frustrating at times, but it's times like this that make those problems just disappear.
Oh, yeah. But no, man, no. Give me a little more than that, Rich. I'm talking about, was there anybody on the outside of you that you were thinking, they're faster than me, I'm not going to win, or did you know starting on the pole, this was your race, there was nobody getting by you?
I did not feel that way tonight, and I usually feel that way every week. I don't feel like I've got a chance to win. I might get a podium finish or something like that, but tonight I really felt confident, and it all come together.
All right, man. And really, it seems, sometimes just that confidence, just being able to have that. And really, once one win comes down, the placement comes easier. This may start, the final part of the season. You start nailing a lot of top podium finishes here. And we're looking at North Wilkesboro next week. I've been telling the viewers out there, I am no good. I am terrible at North Wilkesboro, and especially in the super late models. How confident are you feeling going into that race with a win today?
I love North Wilkesboro. I really do. I like that track. I like those shorter tracks like that as compared to this style of track. It fits more what I run most of. We're a bunch of us guys run probably half mile, 3/4 mile, like Richmond or something like that. But most of the time we're running short tracks, and it really feels good to go back to a short track now.
All right, dude. I'm blown away. Being able to see that number 66 pull through here tonight and come away with a race win, man. I think it's been a long time coming, and it's finally, the floodgates have finally opened. I hope more wins come your way. Starting on the pole, really, and winning the race. This has got to be a huge points jump for you as well. But Rich, go ahead and give me your shout outs, bud. We got to get you ready for North Wilkesboro.
Well, I want to thank Gearhead Coffee, which is usually my sponsor, but they weren't on the car tonight. Had my Go Frankie car for Halloween. But I want to thank Performance Distributors for helping put this on, and thank you guys at Simtrax for broadcasting it for us. You always do a good job. And also want to thank my teammates, man. Austin and Phil, who wasn't here tonight, and Brian Neff. And Brian told me right there at the end he felt he was losing it, but he sure as heck didn't want to cause the caution right there at the end. So it helped me a bunch.
Oh yeah, well he definitely fought all the way to the end. He was trying, man. He just didn't have it until all the way for the end. But great job tonight, Rich. Man, I can't
I want to thank Billy. I want to thank Billy Stanley too. Almost left him out. He's the most important one here. So I want to thank Billy for putting this all together. We have a good time.
Oh, man. I was going to say, Billy always appreciates that. He always says, the thanks go out to you guys, especially coming on out here and putting on a fantastic show every week. But I'm sure he definitely appreciates that in the number 8. So, all right, Rich Blake, I will catch up with you next week, bud.
All right, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. Rich Blake in the number 66 machine, getting it done here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. I got tongue-tied about 1,000 times here tonight. It was really something to see from a lot of these drivers here so far. But Rich Blake coming away with the win. He seemed to know where he needed to be and how to get it done. Great job by him so far here tonight. As we see the final 3 lining up on the bottom of the track. Guys, North Wilkesboro, I've said it once, I said it again. North Wilkesboro is for the race next week. It's going to be a blast out there. Especially for these guys. I'm definitely expecting a little bit cleaner race in there. It'll be a little bit of a smaller track. So, especially with the red and white walls and everything else, so these guys are going to kind of shape it up a little bit. I know they had some tangle ups here tonight, but once again, appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. And another shout out there for Performance Distributors. Guys, check them out on Facebook. That's where I ended up finding them. And also out there on YouTube, they got some cool videos out there of kind of what they do, how they make everything work. and all sorts of things like that. So check out Performance Distributors, DUI Systems, and things like that. Guys, appreciate it once again for joining me. Everybody out there in the chat. I know some of you, it kind of looks a little weird, but it does say Facebook user. I cannot see who you are, but I do see you. Patrick, fantastic announcer, and thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not sure who it is. It doesn't tell me the name, unfortunately, but I appreciate you guys, like I said, joining me here tonight here at the GRaceLand Shootout Series. We've always got crazy stuff going on. Check us out at simtracksbroadcasting.com. I'm doing all sorts of stuff, and you can join me even in other sessions. Comment there. I talk to you guys in the chat all night, and you guys know it. But once again, thank you for joining us. Be well, be safe, be kind. Bye, guys.